was a good fit. He went up to Tech with the sole intention of visiting some friends and called and said, this is where I want to go. Didn't make it a topic. It was just, you get out there, you work hard, you do what you're supposed to do, it'll all work out. And that's what we always said to him. You know, it'll all work out if you work hard and believe in yourself, which we always did. So that's.
On August 30th, just 7 weeks after arriving on campus, Baker Mayfield became the first true freshman walk-on quarterback in history to start a season opener at a BCS conference school. That day, he threw for 413 yards and 4 touchdowns while running for another. Texas Tech beat SMU 41-23.
We were excited. We knew we got a steal. We had recruited him at other schools, a couple of the coaches here, and were shocked, really, that he didn't have a scholarship.
Mayfield hails from Lake Travis High School in Austin, Texas, where he led the Cavaliers to a state title his junior year.
Really just never looked back from there. I mean, it was his team, and Baker went on and was a state championship quarterback that year. And so we knew, you know, going through the summer that the offers from the schools that he wanted to attend hadn't come. We knew it was going to be kind of a different season. And in here, our football season was very disappointing.
Lake Travis was down slightly during Mayfield's senior season, posting a 9-2 record. And once his dream school, TCU, opted for another quarterback, Mayfield was suddenly left without many options.
It was hard when January rolled around and he didn't have a commit, you know, he wasn't committed anywhere. That's really when it started to be very difficult and stressful for the easygoing Baker that we had always known.
The perversions in the recruiting process and their information sources. We had one of the TCU coaches, and actually the offensive coordinator, ask Hank, his coach, to ask us how big his hands were. I mean, so, well, you know, his hands were big enough for him to throw a football for 70 yards. So, but that, I mean, the minutia of detail about his size and specifications, and it became so distorted. He wasn't tiny. He just wasn't 6'2" to 6'4".
Everybody told him that, you know, it was going to take somebody taller to play the quarterback.
If we didn't get the offer, let's think walk-on. If you pick a place you want to go, then the means, it doesn't matter. If that's where you want to be, then let's just do it. And
in the beginning, it was SMU, TCU, and Texas Tech. Those were the 3 schools that you know, he really felt like he would love to go play for.
Mayfield chose to walk on at Texas Tech, where his former high school teammate Michael Brewer was the starting quarterback. A few months later, Brewer injured his back, and Tech was left with 2 true freshman quarterbacks.
Anytime you can get a kid that type of caliber, a player, to come walk on, and it was a difficult situation because we didn't want it to Baker to think that, oh, you know, we're viewing you just as a walk on. We know like what we're getting in you, scholarship numbers wise. We just don't have a spot, and so we were fired up the day he came. We put on a big presentation for him, rolled out the red carpet for him. He meant that much to us.
After beating out fellow freshman quarterback Davis Webb, Mayfield started the first 5 games for the Red Raiders. And although a knee injury kept him out of the game against Iowa State, he has amassed almost 1,500 yards and 8 touchdowns in a season where he was not expecting to play at all.
He had success, but the size issue, because some of the kids had grown more and his growth was slower, but his skills were still equal or better in terms of throwing the ball.
Baker was very small. He's probably 5'5", maybe 5'6" as a freshman, but he was very, very bright, bouncing off the walls all the time. Was a good athlete, but he was just one of the late bloomers, I think, out of the freshman class.
A tech guy, and that excited Baker, and probably was a real mind changer.
Pretty amazing. I don't think we got a chance to really realize until probably, I think it was like 4 or 5 days later. James and I said, "Do you realize what just happened?" We always had kids in the neighborhood coming over and playing. So, he was always the quarterback. Always the quarterback.
I love that.
Yeah. Would be playing this year. I mean, we talked about it, and he was going to be redshirting. I mean, he had opportunities. Other places, a couple of places wanted to build a program around him, and in fact, it caused a lot of heartache at our house. I'll just say that. If the Texas Tech thing had been an option earlier, it would have saved all of our family a lot of tears. But it turned out how it was supposed to be.